Georgia State! To Georgia State!
We're sitting here again talking about the same things.
Well, sorry about that, everybody. There's no shortage of one thing in this great, spectacular sport as known as college football. You know what that is, Red? Is chaos.
Yeah, you said it.
There's something else that we see a lot of in this sport, and it so happens to coincide with the name of our fantastic show we do on here. A lot of FBS, if you know what I'm saying.
A little bit. You mean a little bit of fucking bullshit?
Yep. Ain't that right? Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to another grand, spectacular episode of the FBS Report. We moved the show back to Monday. We had to do it Tuesday last week because, Bill Belichick had to go out there and embarrass himself, so we had to move it, a day forward. But now, from this point onward, we should be able to do the show at our regularly scheduled time on Monday at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But it's good to see everybody in the comment section. We've got some great people in here already, some mods, some great supporters of the channel. We've already got a $20 super chat from my man, Wolverine. Tennessee shouldn't even show up this Saturday. Georgia is a way better team than Tennessee. We don't stand a chance. Georgia 77, Tennessee 10. We are going 2-10. In fact, I don't even think we ever win a game again. That may never come again.
Yeah, for real. Jesus
Christ,
that's a hell of a fiction.
Big plot twist right there. Yeah, probably the biggest plot twist of the week.
Wait,
yep.
You're white?
What?
I thought he was orange. I thought he was orange. What?
How is that possible? What? We're already off to a fantastic start, everybody. Appreciate y'all for being here tonight. We got a lot to go over. We're going to go over everything that happened over the course of week 2 because there is a lot we got to go over. I think by this, yeah. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, I don't mean to jump in, but I just want to give you guys a public service announcement. If you decide if you're able to, let's say you got to get your wisdom teeth removed because I had to get mine removed on Thursday. If you want to do yourself a crazy good favor, just to say you've lived a little bit in your life, get your teeth pulled while you're awake. It is the craziest experience. Being wide awake, you don't feel anything because they numb you up. But when you are just laying back in this dentist chair and this doctor takes a mini crowbar and just goes into your mouth and pries the motherfucker out of your jaw. I don't know why.
Oh, God,
I don't know why.
No.
I don't know why.
No. We're stopping
I did not like the drill. I did not like the drilling part. But the crowbar and the pliers, it was kind of like, you know what? That's about what I thought it was going to look like.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, they numb like the absolute crap out of you, so you can't really necessarily feel anything. But I prefer being knocked out for it because I don't want to sit there for 2 hours or 3 hours on it and just lay there and suffer.
Listen, I understand the logic behind being knocked out behind it. It's not pleasant, but to say you've lived a little. Listen, I am a cynical bastard. I find joy in the dumbest of shit. And the one thing that I'm going to just say about the whole ordeal, I saved $7,000 by staying awake during the surgery. American healthcare. Let's move on.
Yep. Okay.
He's like, I don't know how to respond to
milkshake.
That,
That's a good milkshake. Yeah. Speaking of which, I don't think it was relative to the milkshake, and it was something else. But I got poisoned somewhere these previous few days. I got poisoned with something. I have been at eternal war with my bathroom all day today. I don't know what happened. I don't know what caused that to happen, but there was something that I ate or drank that has caused me to just spend half of the damn day in that bathroom. I don't know what it was, but something I ate or drank in the past 2 or 3 days did that because that's all I've been doing. My stomach has just been in absolute shambles as of lately. I've been in a shootout with my intestines for the entire day. It's been awful.
And Young asking the real question here: when was the last bombing run?
Anyway, not JFKH with the $2 super chat, much appreciated, buddy. Says to send Squid to Milkshakes Anonymous. Well, that goes a long way, buddy. Yeah, support the Milkshake Fund. And while you're at it, support the channel, support our channels by making sure to like and subscribe to both of us, Squidtard Sports, and of course my boy Red5478. Also, all of our merch is in the description below. There's some great stuff on there, some great items if you guys want to go check that out. Planning on updating that at least at some point in due time. But yeah, no, it's but because it's about that time I added some new stuff to my merch. So, yeah, but definitely go ahead and check that out. You can get what he's got on. You can get what I've got on. And you can get a whole lot more.
Green. That's why it looks red. It's green.
Oh.
It's Money Talks, Bullshit Walks, the T-shirt. That's why it's kind of bleeding through. It's green there. I might, just saying, because I got a premiere for a brand new video coming out on Friday. There might be a T-shirt that goes alongside that video that I might be working on. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. It's a kilometer. Tell it like it is. You're in the right space for that kind of talk because it's American football over here. He's called red, but he's not actually red. What does this world come to?
Hey, listen. What color is this beard? Yeah. What color is this? I'm sorry. Is that not red to you? Is this fucking beard not fucking red enough for you? I'm just kidding.
I might be colorblind. I don't know. I like the sub, Mr. Squid. Much appreciated, buddy. You're a real one. All right, then. Well, let's go ahead and roll into it, Red, shall we? Because we got an absolute abundance of stuff to talk about. Holy hell.
We do.
What a week it's been. And I said this before the week even began. I'm telling you, these weeks get you because it's always the weakest weeks on paper. Weakest weeks, huh? But it's always the ones that are the worst on paper that these games are going to be blowouts. These games are going to suck. None of these games actually matter. It's always those that wound up being the good ones. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? So,
absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, we got 100 people in here right now. I'm sure most of you guys agree that this past weekend has been a sincere amount of chaos. Viper Technician, much appreciate the 5, says the SEC emails have been leaked. Cody Campbell apparently has big beef with Greg Sankey. Uh-oh. Conference battle. It's like the ACC all over again. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Billy Napier. We got to talk about that. Don't forget that. All right. Well, where do we want to get started, Red? Because we've got a lot to go over tonight. I think you know. I think you know where to get started. I think we all know where we have to get started. But
please,
we're not going to do it. We're not going to do it just yet. There's a couple of other. We've been talking about coaches. That's as the title would suggest. We've been talking about coaches that are 100% gone after the results of week 2. And there are plenty of candidates for that. I'm telling you what. And I'm going to go ahead and start out with this one right here. Look, and here's the thing, okay? We all sort of knew that this was going to happen. Nobody really expected this game to go in their favor, like at all in any sort of capacity. But what the hell happened? Look at this. Yeah. This is brutal. How is this even allowed on TV? This is awful.
What's worse is it was on CBS, nationally aired. It was a nationally aired execution for the Oregon Ducks on the Oklahoma State Cowboys. This wasn't a football game. This was assault. This was murder. This was a crime. It wasn't a game of pigskin, bar none. And the fact that Oklahoma State has fallen this far in just a couple of years genuinely boggles my fucking mind. Yeah, scripted my ass. You can't script this. Oklahoma State had literally, they were better off when Oklahoma and Texas were in the Big 12 because that was the last time they were fucking relevant. Ever since they left, gone. Just tear everything down to the studs. salt the earth so nothing ever grows again. It is bad. I'm not saying that's, Stillwater has gotten this way because of those two leaving. Far from it. I think it's gotten this way because Gundy is washed. And I honestly am surprised that after the absolute ass whipping yesterday, they didn't fire Gundy right away. It's one thing if you are an FCS school getting blown out by the Oregon Ducks. Portland State can attest to that. It's another thing if you were in a Power 4 conference and you walk into Eugene and get bent over by the Ducks. In this fashion? Are you fucking kidding me? You have no hope. Oklahoma State, none.
No.
Zero, nada, zilch. You might as well just put this whole season on snooze and just not wake up and get out of bed, Oklahoma State fans. Fuck your Saturdays because it's over. It's beyond over. It's so over, they buried your asses 10 feet deep under Boone Pickens.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, I'm going to say this. This is something I heard from Oklahoma State fans, actually. There were actually some believing that if Hasenji, the quarterback, who of course that was their starting quarterback, but of course he got injured, he's out with a broken foot, probably not coming back for the rest of the year. But they said that if he was playing in this game, that this would be a lot more competitive. If both teams are playing at full capacity, that's exactly what would happen. Well, if both teams are playing at full capacity, I'm going to tell you this much: like Oregon, you know who Oregon's missing right now? Evan Stewart. If Evan Stewart was playing in this game, they'd beat you so bad they'd have to turn your name back to Oklahoma A&M.
It would be like Georgia Tech against Cumberland College all over again.
Yeah, I mean, this is a type of loss. This is the type of loss that puts your program like ages back. Like it's bad enough to that point to where they are so far behind everybody else in terms of being competitive. The only thing they have to really battle for at this point is just to face off against UCF for the battle of the worst team in the Power 4. Hell, might be battling for the worst team in the FBS at this rate.
Well, maybe not the Power 4. Wake Forest has a claim to that title.
Dude, I don't even think Wake Forest would get beat this bad. I mean, this is like, getting 69 put up on you and losing by 66. It doesn't matter who you are. That's absolutely terrible. I mean, this is the same Oregon team that struggled last year against Idaho. So, to get beat that bad, I mean, that Oregon is a good team. Don't get me wrong; they're a really, really good team. They're going to probably finish out the season, going to the playoffs. But this is absolutely inexcusable. An inexcusable job by the coaching staff, the entire team. Nobody wanted to be there. They quit after the first quarter. It was an absolutely horrendous performance, and I think at this point it's safe to say that the team has sort of quit on Mike Gundy, and he's pretty much a dead man walking at this point. It won't be much longer before he's sent to the get out sound effect.
Two things. Number one, comparing Cowboys to the Vandals is an insult to the Vandals. So put a little respect on Idaho's name. They performed 10 times better than the Cowboys and should not be compared in any way, shape, and form to Oklahoma State. That's the first thing. Second thing, I completely agree with you. Mike Gundy is absolutely a dead man walking. The problem is he's got the lifer political influence right now. If it was any other coach, if it was Billy Napier, Florida losing this bad to USF, yeah, he'd be out the fucking door yesterday. But this is Gundy we're talking about. He not only played for Oklahoma State, he's been a coach for Oklahoma State for the better part of 2 decades. Unfortunately, because of that, he's kind of earned his own get out of here my way thing. He'll be gone after this year, but he's going to finish out the season. And unfortunately, it's going to be a season from hell. No, I'm not making another soap opera about this fucking team or any other team this year. Florida State ended it. I'm not making another. Don't ask.
Yeah, right. We got a doubleheader here for Super Chats. Bates 2002 with the 20 says, thoughts on head coach Fran Brown making his team run sprints after barely beating UConn. I'll say this much. I think that was a reasonable thing to do right there because the team did not play up to par. But I also think that he and the rest of the coaching staff should have run sprints too because they didn't do the best job either. In fact, they did not coach. they coached a terrible game as well. That was a terrible performance all around by Syracuse. And personally, I think that's exactly what they need to do. Now, granted, UConn is a upper echelon G5 team right now. Or really a pretty good G5 program under Jim Mora, at least in these last 2 years. So, I mean, it's not the most surprising thing that they were competitive, but like Syracuse was getting beat. Like they were getting beat bad. The only reason they even managed to come back and win that game was because UConn got stupid at the end there. The quarterback was making mistakes, and it allowed Syracuse to basically crawl back into the game, win it that way. But that was a terrible performance by the Orange. Then Wolverine.
Quick correction on that. Head coach Fran Brown did run sprints with the team. He actually did. He was running with them.
All right, good for him. Well, the rest of the coaching staff needs to do it too. And when he takes that shower, he needs to take a cold one too.
Damn right.
Wolverine, appreciate the 20, says, make sure you guys sub it to Squid. Great content, even better person. Help put my channel out there. And now I'm finally starting to grow it. Hashtag thank you, Squid. Well, thank you for supporting the channel, buddy. You whatever you're making it over there on your channel, you absolutely deserve it, buddy. Much appreciated. But yeah, no, I mean, in conclusion, Oklahoma State's absolutely terrible. They're so below the poverty line in terms of a program right now. This is the type of stuff that takes years to come back from. They might be where Colorado was right before Deion Sanders arrived there. Like that's how bad they are.
And Deion's not going to be coming to save Oklahoma State. No legend. You're not going to see Barry Sanders coming over to Oklahoma State to save their asses and coach them back to prominence. This is, even in the era of NIL, this is the kind of bullshit that takes years off of a program, and they're just going to have to grin and bear it. I feel bad for the Poke fans. I don't feel bad for the Pokes.
Mm-hmm. No kidding. All right, well, we just might as well just go ahead and get this one out of the way. Mm-hmm. This is the other coach I think is gone now. This is another coach who I think is a dead man walking. And it's a real big shame because he's been a staple of this channel for as long as I can remember. My boy from the Sun Belt, Billy Napier. Mr. Billy Napier went out there and at home got beat by the South Florida Bulls. And Florida is safe to say, at the bare minimum, this team is now the fourth best team in the state of Florida. The fourth best team. Florida State's going to beat him. Miami's going to beat him, and South Florida already did it. Yeah, Florida's at bare minimum the fourth best team in the state of Florida. And, I mean, this is just an awful performance all around. The offense was completely missing from action. They thought DJ Lagway was going to be their savior, but he wasn't. He's the furthest thing away from it. Dude was making mistakes, terrible moves out there on the field. The play calling was absolutely pathetic up front. The defense was giving up plays where they didn't need them to. I mean, South Florida just basically pushed them around on the line of scrimmage for the entire game. And then, of course, they go down the field at the very end there. The Florida defense basically gives up, and they kick the game-winning field goal, and they go into Florida and beat Florida. I mean, so at this point, you know, if South Florida, listen, South Florida is definitely a good team this year. They're right now, they're the clear front runner for the college football playoffs in terms of the G5. Easy. Yeah, Alex Golish has built something there. Shout out to the Josh Heupel pipeline, Mr. Alex Golish. Legendary team he's built here. But if we're all being honest, in terms of talent composite, South Florida is somewhere there towards the bottom compared to the rest of the teams that Florida has to play. Because here's what they got coming up, okay? Next week, they got to go into Tiger Stadium at night on the road against the LSU Tigers.
They're dead.
LSU might have 500 yards on that defense. It's going to be bad.
Oh, yeah.
Then they got to go to Miami on the road. Then they got to they got to play Texas at home. They're not beating Texas. Texas A&M on the road. I don't think they're winning that one from the looks of it. Mississippi State. Mississippi State looks way less. Mississippi State looks way less winnable than it did before now. Not just because of the fact that Florida's bad, but Mississippi State wound up doing what they did against Arizona State, put themselves on the map with that win. So that doesn't even look half winnable now. And then you got Georgia, Kentucky, Ole Miss, Tennessee. It might be so bad that Tennessee might just beat you in Gainesville. That's how bad this is.
Dude, so, I mean, they might barely beat Kentucky. They're going 2-10 this year. They're going 2-10 at this rate. Like, it's bad. It's so fucking bad. It's like, it literally, my buddy Duck couldn't say it better. You're fucked, so fucked, fuckity fucked. Like, it is, you are completely screwed, Billy Napier. Like,
Billy Napier.
I genuinely, I know Wolverines trying to say in the chat, the Tennessee's not being Florida SWAT. You guys got a fucking quarterback in Joey Aguilar, who is an absolute hoss. Who the fuck does Florida have? A fake alligator head in their locker room? That's the only thing on them that's intimidating.
DJ Wagway. They got DJ Wagway. Don't you know they got DJ Wagway?
DJ that way because
the wrong way. The wrong way.
DJ U-turn, get the fuck out of here.
DJ U-turn.
Yeah, he comes running out of the tunnel and immediately turns around and goes the fuck home because he is trash. I genuinely believe that if they go into Tiger Stadium and they get their asses kicked by LSU, he will be gone for sure. They can throw up and say, well, listen, it's non-conference. These games can happen and all that. If they go into Tiger Stadium and they get crushed, and I mean crushed, it's over. It's so fucking over. Sunbelt Billy will be on the first bus ride out of Gainesville come Monday. Like he might not even make it to the airport keeping his job. They'll fire him in the fucking end zone in Tiger Stadium.
Yeah, I don't see how he makes it. I mean, you're talking about one of the hardest schedules in college football. You got to play like pretty much more than half of the teams you play are in the top 15 right now, and they got to play all of them. I mean, I don't see them not being competitive, but like, do you see them winning any of those games? It looks a whole lot less likely now.
I'm gonna think of. I just thought about this for a moment. What if they're waiting to see if they make another midseason comeback like they did last year, and they just go on a fucking run? Like, okay, it's going to take us a couple of weeks to get the ball rolling, but once it's rolling, we know how good the Gators can be, right? When in reality, they just need to cut the fucking cord and just cut their losses and admit defeat. They have one of the toughest schedules in the nation. Their team is not built to survive it. Therefore, cut the shit and get the fuck out. Find the players that are going to stick around and let everybody else walk onto the transfer portal and just start from scratch.
Well,
I don't know what else you can do if you're Florida at this point besides just tear it all down and start over after a game like this. Like, sure, you beat the fuck out of Long Island. That's fucking Long Island. Everybody beats the fuck out of Long Island.
Whoop-de-doo. Here's the thing. It's far worse than anything you can imagine because, of course, they lose a game like this. They've lost the support of basically the entire fan base. There isn't a Florida fan, a rational Florida fan out there that's now a believer of Billy Napier. That nobody believes in that man anymore. And not only that, but you've got players that played for him before. You've got players that were on his team getting on Twitter and then spilling some information about how he treated them, saying that he was really bad in the locker rooms. He played these players while they were hurt. You got former players saying this stuff all over Twitter. And so now that you've got former players calling you out, that's basically that's like death row for a coach at that point. At some point, they're going to can him. I don't know if it's going to be this next week. I don't know if it's going to be halfway through the season. Maybe at the end of the season when they get beat by Florida State. I don't know when that's going to happen, but it's going to happen. I don't see him making it past. And here's the worst part about this for Florida fans. Here's the truth. And I said this ever since they even hired the man. When the day comes that you fire him, you have to realize something. Scott Strickland's your AD. And until you get rid of him too, and fire him, it's just going to be the same thing on repeat. Because do you really, if you're a Florida fan, do you really, really trust Scott Strickland with the hire? I mean, do you? Do you trust him? No, of course you don't. And I heard people say that they should bring back Dan Mullen, and I don't think that's true either. Dan Mullen couldn't recruit. And here's the thing: Billy can recruit. He's got that over Mullen, that's for sure. He can recruit. He's recruiting on the same level as every other elite program in the SEC. But reality is there's no development at all. Wait. We got to do the thing. There's no development. Yeah. You need some of that going.
Yeah. Let me turn this around on you real quick. The last thought I have, the only thing that I can think of that they're waiting on is who the fuck would for Oklahoma State and for Florida, who the fuck would step in here to take over and start from scratch? If you're Florida, you're not going back to a Group of 5 school to hire another head coach at this point. You're not going to go dipping your toe back into the Sun Belt to find Sun Belt Bobby, Sun Belt Steven, Sun Belt Larry.
Bobby.
Like, damn it, Bobby. Damn it, Bobby.
Okay, yeah, they need to go ahead and do that.
Yeah, no, it ain't gonna fucking work like that. You would need to find a coach that's, an offense or defensive coordinator. Are you gonna go after what's like fucking Tom Wilson or Matt Patricia at Ohio State to be your next head coach, Florida? Because I mean, realistically, just look immediately at your guys in your power blue blood schools and the defensive coordinators and your offensive coordinators. That's probably where you're gonna have to start. But I mean, the only one I can think of is probably Matt Patricia.
Right. Bull Muscle with the 5 says set a new PR yesterday in the gym and hiked Willow blah, 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 that thing Ridge. Brace yourselves. This Friday's video is 8 years coming. Much love from Hawaii. Well, much appreciated, buddy. Thank you for supporting our channels, brother.
Yes, sir. And he's talking about my upcoming video on Friday, 8:00 Eastern time. Be ready to go. Texas A&M gonna get the fuck up.
Oh boy, 8-4 Academy, baby. But yeah, anyway, to wrap this thing up, no matter how good DJ 20 below the speed limit is, it was never going to save Billy. It just never was. There's so many things wrong with Florida right now, not just as a team, but as a program, that at this point, you're going to have to probably do what Tennessee and some of these other schools have done in the past, and you're just going to have to rebuild from scratch. That's the only way you get back to where you once were, or even get back to being as competitive with some of these other schools. Because until that happens, it's just going to be this on repeat. Continuous mediocre seasons with bad, unexplainable losses. Because at this point, it looks like that most of the team has already given up on Billy. So I agree.
When you lose the confidence of your players in the locker room, just get the fuck out. You're only going to hurt more people than you're going to help at that point. I mean, it's beyond over. The fact that we're still in the encore of the show being over is kind of baffling to me. Like the singers have tried to leave the stage 5 times now, and they're not being told they can leave. Like, what are we doing here?
Hi, Mia. Yeah. Fire Billy Napier and then hire Billy Napier.
Fire Billy Napier, but hire Nilly Bapier.
Scott Strickland TM moment right there. That's quite literally Scott Strickland. Yeah, right there. That's exactly what he did. Exactly what he would do. I mean, there's some other funny results here. Clemson looked terrible. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say that much. Clemson looked absolutely terrible. They were really lucky not to be on the poop list either, like Florida and Oklahoma State, because boy, they looked awful. That was like when I forget who it was. I think it was Charleston Southern, where Cade Klubnik goes out there and throws 2 back-to-back pick sixes. That's what that looked like. That was terrible. Yeah, see, even Huffer Billy Paul's in the chat. Clemson is ass.
Yeah, they're absolute ass. We can't really lump Dabo into the same conversation as Gundy and Billy Napier, because at least Dabo has a couple national titles. He's won a few natties. Clemson is at least consistently. They're good. They're always good. Now, whether or not they are contenders is debatable, and this is one of those times where I just say there's no debate. Currently, as stands, they are not contenders whatsoever to make a run for the playoff. I dare say a sentence I was not going to think I would ever say a month ago. I think Florida State looks like a more obvious contender to make the playoffs at this point than Clemson, because how in the flying fuck do you not score a touchdown in the first half against Troy? It's fucking Troy. We're not talking calling them Troy. The fucking school of Troy.
Bad.
God. That's all I need to say. You got, other than a field goal and with like a few seconds left in the second quarter, you got shut out the first half. Be glad that your defense is worth a shit and actually woke up in the second half and shut out Troy. Otherwise, we'd be making this weekend would be a lot. There'd be a lot more to talk about and a lot some answers would be.
You know what? Actually, I'm going to say this. I'm actually really, really glad this was brought up. Florida should hire Neil Brown and trust the climb. I know a program that honestly probably should be trusting the climb right now. Let's go down here and see him, shall we? Looky here. Our good buddies from the country roads, West Virginia. Oh, boy.
I'm still banned from their state.
Yeah, Rich Rod, buddy, what happened? I know it's Parker Navarro.
Yeah.
I know Timothy Chalamet has told you all about how great that guy is, but what is that? How do you go? I mean, I don't understand. You had College Game Day on a silver platter. All you had to do was beat Ohio. That's all you had to do. And then you'd be hosting Pitt the very next week, a big-time rivalry game against two undefeated teams. But no, instead what we're going to do is we're going to go out and lay a big, gigantic dookie in the middle of Ohio Stadium. That's exactly what they did. And now guess what? Now guess what? Boy, the rest of their games, best of luck. Yeah, that's all I can say.
I mean, I'm going to just say that I'm not surprised this happened to West Virginia. Anybody that's kind of followed a little bit of what's been going on with the Mountaineers this offseason, yeah, Rich Rod's back, but obviously just because he took Jacksonville State and turned them into a household name once they came up to from FCS to FBS, that doesn't mean you can take West Virginia and bring them back to life overnight. The fact that they were touting up how they were bringing back players from their 06, 07 teams to help coach immediately told me during the offseason, oh, they're going to lose. They're going to lose a lot, and it's fucking going to be bad. It's going to be embarrassing. They had, I think it was like, 50-something transfers onto the team this offseason. I mean, they had to completely tear everything down to the studs and start over. So this is part of, unfortunately, the process of trying to rehab the Mountaineers. Nobody thought that they were going to be good this year. Nobody thought that they were going to be worth a shit this year. At least they didn't lose to fucking Oregon by 66 points. You lost to Ohio by 17. I dare say you actually put up more of a fight than Florida. Maybe. Don't know. But it doesn't surprise me that West Virginia lost. I think it's just more surprising that they that they hung around this long, to be honest. Because Parker Navarro, as Timothy Chalamet is right. I mean, Parker Navarro is a stud. He's really good.
Yeah, right.
Just ask Timothy Chalamet.
I Sabby. Appreciate the 5, buddy. Rich Rodriguez is giving me some of my best memories of my younger years. Well, boy, I sure do wish you lived in those memories.
Wait, those are your best memories?
Hey, West Virginia actually had some really good times under Rich Rod in his first tenure.
Yeah,
this ain't it, obviously, but
Rich Rod did pretty well with them until one night in the end of 2007 when Pitt came to town and made them eat shit.
Yeah, speaking of which, they're going to make them eat doo-doo again this week. Ace Thuzerine, CH, I think is how you pronounce that. Loving the stream. Appreciate it, buddy. Thank you for the super chat.
What currency
you're a
is it?
stud.
Thank you.
That's why I just said super chat. I don't know. Okay, yeah. So West Virginia sucks. I think we all know that. The Rich Rod era is going exactly as some people would have expected it to go, which is absolutely terrible. Real quick, let's just run through some of these other things. Illinois took down Duke. It was a really, really close game and actually a really competitive game at the half. But then, Duke's offensive line just completely crumbled and Illinois ran away with it. So now the pressure is really on them because now they're in the top 10 for the first time since 2001. So there's a lot of pressure now on Burt Bielema and co.
Yeah, think about that. The last time that Illinois was in the top 10, I was in, 2001. I was in first grade. Like, that's how long it's been since Illinois has been this good per the AP. This is rarefied air for the Illini. And I'll just come out and say it. They're backing it up so far. They came in and Duke's not an easy team to put away. If anybody I saw a couple of people commenting like, lol, Duke, lol. Have you not been paying attention to how good Duke has been the last couple of years? Like, they're not a pushover. You beat Duke, that's a solid win on your resume. Dave Valensky. The Big 12 is the Big 10 West. The Big 10 was a conference. The Big 10 West was a conference. Pretty much.
Appreciate it, buddy. I said with the 5 says, sorry I didn't clarify. I'm an Ohio State fan. You guys ate good this week. I'll say that much.
Go Bucks. I think when you get right down to it and you look at everything here, Illinois, they beat Duke because they had the depth and they had the overall better physical manpower than Duke for the long run. That, and when you got down to the very end of the game, Duke was just desperately trying to get something going. They were only put up 6 points in the third quarter. They were trying, and Illinois was running the offense, and they just, Darian Mensah got forced into making some dumb mistakes, and it cost them. But on the other side of the coin, I don't think either team looks bad from this loss. Duke looked good for that first half and took Illinois to the limit. Illinois pulled away in the second half, as a good team should, which means that as we get down to the rest of their schedule going into next week, they got a tune-up against Western Michigan, but look what they are doing a week from Saturday. Number 9, Illinois, number 22, Indiana. That'll be in Illinois and Indiana's first true test of the season right there. And we're going to find out who's the fraud and who's the not. And if Illinois continues to play like this, that matchup against Ohio State suddenly has a few more stakes in it. Not just the yellow buck either.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, no. And this is I'll go ahead and say this. We did touch on Mississippi State just a minute ago, so we'll cross by that. I will say, but what I meant mostly by you guys eating good is that you got to witness a result that you guys really, really love right here. Oklahoma taking down Michigan. Finally, the SEC gets a W over the Big Ten. We need it desperately. Shout out to the Sooners. John Napier, real deal, man. People have been saying it for a while, but he's the real deal.
Shout out to the real SEC, the historic SEC powerhouse Oklahoma Sooners for beating Michigan for the SEC. Way to fucking go. Hey, I don't give a fuck. A Michigan loss means it's a great day in the state of Ohio. Let's fucking go. Mazel tov.
Yeah, you're like me with Georgia and the rest of my rivals. A great day when they lose. That ain't that for certain. And I'm telling you, I've been eating good too. Bama embarrasses themselves week 1. Florida does the same thing this week. Is it Georgia's turn? I don't know. We'll see. They already did sort of embarrass themselves in that performance against Austin Peay. That was absolutely terrible. But they do this every single year, so I'm not buying it for a second. You know what I mean? They did this against Kent State back in 2022, and then they proceeded to obliterate everybody that breathed in their general direction. Mm-hmm. So I'm not taking it for a second. Whatever we're watching, I know it's a better result than what we saw here. This is about as Cyhawk gets right here. Optional offense for the entire game, Iowa State versus Iowa. Just literally carbon copy of last year's game. The entire thing is neck to neck the entire game. Nobody can score, and it's up to the savior of Iowa State, Mr. Kyle Conradi, to kick a super-duper long field goal at the very end of the game to give Iowa State the win. And for the second year in a row, guess what? The man delivers. Gives Iowa State another win over their hated rivals, the Hawkeyes, and turns Iowa State into a top 15 team coming into this year, coming into this week. A lot of hype for the Cyclones right now. That's for certain.
Yeah. I genuinely, let's flip the coin here and talk about the Hawkeyes for a second, because I mean, the Cyclones clearly are the superior team in the state of Iowa. Imagine saying that 20 years ago. They're clearly in the driver's seat, I think, to win the Big 12 championship, considering how well they've played so far this season. What I don't understand with Iowa, how in the fuck did you take a player, Mark Gronowski, one of the top players to come out of FCS, South Dakota? I think it was South Dakota State, South Dakota. I can't quite remember, but the South Dakota State, there it is. Dude has a career coming into this final season for him. He's been playing since 2020. This is his final year. Career statistics, he has over 10,000 yards passing for a career. He has scored 94 passing touchdowns for his career across 2 games. 127 yards passing, 1 touchdown. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I dare say it's not Mark Gronowski's fault. The fucker is a great quarterback. He took the Jackrabbits of South Dakota State and ran roughshod in FCS. It's not the player, it's the team. It is literally just Iowa. That is the only problem here. How else can you explain a 5-year senior quarterback with over 10,000 yards passing for his entire career absolutely shitting himself these first 2 weeks? I'll give you an answer. Iowa doesn't know what the fucking offense is. They don't know what the fuck offense is at all. It's ridiculous. I'm genuinely furious about it. Like, I'm an Ohio State fan. I shouldn't be mad at Iowa for not playing fucking offense. I should be laughing at them, but I'm not, because they're wasting so many players' potential, and it's disgusting. Fire Kirk Ferentz. Stop fucking comparing him to Woody Hayes.
Wait a minute. Who in the right mind is comparing that man to Woody Hayes?
Fox did. I said twice they did week 1, and I'm not going to let that go. Fox made that comparison. Career wins. Fuck you. Goodness. What games did he win in his career? Woody Hayes won 5 national titles, untold number of Big Ten titles. What the fuck has Kirk Ferentz done? 2 trips to the Big Ten championship because the Big Ten West was basically the cupcake league? Fuck you.
Well, I think obviously Gronowski is a huge upgrade for their quarterback position, but they have to realize there's 10 other personnel on the offense, and they're all useless with the exception of Gronowski. The offensive line was terrible. The wide receivers are basically just useless.
Yeah.
I said in my chaos video, I'm going to say it here. Iowa's got wide receivers for decoration. They don't actually use them in any capacity. All they have is a tight end. That's it. That's their entire wide receiver room. If you take out the tight end, everything else is gone. That's bye-bye offense.
Iowa's only touchdown was because Gronowski ran the ball in himself. That's Iowa's only touchdown in this game, because Gronowski ran it in himself. That was the only direct offensive points they got. It's genuinely shameful.
It's possible. I'm telling you, there is a possibility Iowa has an offense if Gronowski can throw, run, block, catch, possibly play defense and special teams.
Just be the modern-day John Heisman, and suddenly you're in the playoff picture, right?
Exactly, right. I'm telling you, that's the thing. If Iowa even has some sort of offensive identity, they're a playoff team. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But they never do.
Easily. Like that's not even a fucking question. This defense they have is elite. I will not shut the fuck up about how good Iowa's defense is, but literally they could have an offense just half as good, just like a half better, not twice as good, one multiple Like, not even a full multiple better. Just something. A fucking wide receiver. Another goddamn lineman that's worth a shit. Something. And you guys would be in the playoffs, no problem. But you can't do the fucking little shit on offense. And it is... it fucking pisses me off.
Yeah, man, you shouldn't let it piss you off at this point because
it does. It genuinely does because I have not seen a defense this good on a team this bad. Like, it makes no goddamn sense. You shouldn't. You need. If your defense is good, then your offense naturally should be good. If your defense is bad, your offense is going to probably be a little bit bad too. There's teams like Baylor that have a really, really good offense and don't trust their defense worth a dick. And then you got teams like Iowa that have a really superior defense, but their offense basically 11 toddlers shitting themselves every play. So it's not Baylor and Iowa are opposites of a whole. And if those two ever play each other in bowl season, the universe will fucking implode.
It's got quite literally the polar opposite of USC and LSU. If those two teams right there have a defense, they're title contenders. LSU has found theirs. USC up for debate, but this is never going to change at this point until there's a new coaching direction. Because right now, with that walking retirement home that they've got there, it's just never gonna change.
Hang on, I just saw somebody say, "Damn, $2 waste." Oh,
yeah, my bad. I meant to go back and read that.
Yeah, sorry, buddy.
Okay, I'll pull it up. Sorry, 50% of the way through your prediction read WDE.
Wait till the SEC schedule, buddy. Just wait till the SEC schedule.
Yeah, anyway, Dave Aranda's job was kind of floating in the air there after that Auburn loss, but it seems they've recovered now that they beat SMU on the road. And a lot of that is due to SMU lacking a field goal kicker in any capacity, but they did survive and thrive for another week. So it looks like Dave Aranda's job's still floating in purgatory somewhere.
Yeah, I think that genuinely speaking, Baylor, I'm not going to get as fucking pissed off about Baylor because I can see where Baylor can be great. It's not really their defense's fault that their coach doesn't trust them. Like, how many times do you got to go for it on fourth down and fail before you stop? Not even like, I'm not talking about in the fourth quarter. I'm talking about the first drive, the second drive, the third drive, the sixth drive, the eighth drive. Literally, the punt team doesn't see the field until like midway through the third because you're absolutely fucked. You can't go for it from your own 15-yard line. That genuinely, Aranda, does he not trust his defensive coordinator? Does he not trust his defense whatsoever?
I guess not.
Because Baylor could have won that game in regulation if they had just taken the damn points like they should have. But they didn't. Instead, they fucking went for it, failed both times, left 6 whole points on the board. That's a touchdown, by the way, without the extra point. They could have absolutely won them the game in regulation instead of going all the way into overtime and risk injury. So I think Aranda is trying to be overly aggressive, and it's really not working. You can pull this shit in an FCS game, but you pulled this shit on Auburn and got smoked. You pulled this shit on SMU and should have been smoked. SMU absolutely shat themselves in the moment. They didn't capitalize the way they could have. Their defense absolutely fell to pieces on both sides, frankly. Baylor got lucky. They should have won this game.
They definitely did. SMU literally just let them come back at the end there because they had a 2-score lead with 5 minutes left to go, and then Baylor, they climbed right back in because of SMU's own incompetence. And then that's how that ended. I sadly appreciate the 2 says shockingly Ole Miss didn't lose to the Cats. Well, I think we all knew that Ole Miss was going to jump in and win that game. I don't think anybody really actually expected Kentucky to win. Now, I will say this. I think Austin Simmons is a severe downgrade from Jackson Dart. I had hope for Austin Simmons. I thought he was going to be pretty good when I saw him play, but he looked absolutely terrible in that game. Forget the stats. I mean, he looked absolutely horrendous in that game against Kentucky.
Yeah.
And you could, now thing is, you can chop a little bit of that up to Kentucky having a dominant line up front, because that is the one thing Kentucky has going for them, is they do have a great defensive line and they can force pressure on quarterbacks, but they don't have a secondary. And they, of course, as we all know, they don't have an offense.
I mean, I just want Lane Kiffin to shut the fuck up. Well, you just shut the fuck up, please.
Different conferences, man.
Talking.
Different leagues.
Stop talking. Like, you're talking out of your ass like you've done something and you really haven't. Like, you were exiled to FAU at one point before Ole Miss took pity and hired your ass. Like, come the fuck on, bro.
Different leagues, man.
I genuinely don't know how Ole Miss made this close, considering UK struggled against Toledo last week. And, like, not only struggled, but actually gave up a safety against Toledo. Like, that's a mark of a bad fucking team. Like, really, that's a mark of a bad fucking team. If you're giving up a safety in the first half, that's bad. In the Rebs, they're missing a lot. Jackson Dart not being there obviously is going to mean that this is going to be a hangover year. Ole Miss, I don't think, should be in the same conversation as your teams like Georgia, who also played like shit against Austin Peay, but then again, they could have been resting some guys and playing half-assed. Who the fuck knows? Texas, who absolutely smoked San Jose State. They're not in the same league as those fucking guys. They're right down there with your Vanderbilt right now, which Vanderbilt's actually middle of the conference, which is pretty good for them. And that's not a bad place to be after you lose your starting quarterback to the NFL. It's not. Just accept the fact that your team probably doesn't have enough to make a run for the playoffs this year. Probably won't win the conference, but you could still take a lot of good steps. Maybe win 9 games, come damn close, and then make the playoffs next year once you give your quarterback a chance to develop. Oh, for fucking Stoops.
Can't forget, man. Stoops is motivated, man. He's very, very motivated.
I am motivated to take Bob Stoops' motivation, turn it into a pretzel, and shove it up his ass. Because that's the dumbest fucking shit. I'm motivated to do what? Die on the field
fired
against the SEC? Must be motivated to get fired. He's doing a really good job right now.
Yeah, incredible job even. No, but I do. I hope Kentucky gets it together just enough for him to keep him for another year. I love Mark Stoops. He's a great. Him and the coal miners are a great free win for Tennessee. So yeah, keep it up, buddy. Keep it up. Yeah, no, I think that's about the. Oh, of course, the border war, Kansas and Missouri. Kansas, they made this really competitive, which I did think was a surprise. I kind of thought Missouri was going to run away with this one, but they needed it. They needed like a big comeback to get away with it. Prebula had a really good game, and I think I'll say this: Missouri's got an offense. Prebula looked pretty good. Ahmad Hardy is really good running back. You got to watch out for him. But yeah, no, Kansas. I mean, they had them the 21-6, and then they just kind of let the game get away from them in the second half.
Yeah, I would agree. I'm not surprised that Kansas made it a game because Kansas, they looked pretty good these first couple weeks that they've been out there, and their offense, despite being kind of thrown together during the offseason randomly with a bunch of different missing parts. I don't think that they're a bad team in any sort of way. I honestly think, for what I have seen thus far, I can very confidently put them back in as a sneak contender for the Big 12 title, a sneaky one. I'm not saying that they're going to win it. Iowa State, I think, has proven that, and despite Arizona State's upset, I still think that they're going to be right there in the conversation when we get into conference play. But Kansas, Jalen Daniels, he's in his final season. He's in peak form. He's playing lights out. Obviously, you can't win them all, and this is going to be a tough game regardless because it's Mizzou. Bo Pribula absolutely went fucking wild on these guys. Tough environment in Mizzou as well. I don't know. I lost count of how many suck cock Jayhawk signs I saw on Twitter on Saturday, but this is like. It was going to be tough, and it was going to be close, and the score does not reflect the results of the whole game. It was crazy. Kansas made some mistakes. I saw a wild snap that flew into the end zone at one point in the game. That's definitely a sign of the offense kind of being thrown together last minute like it was. But as the season goes on, I think they're going to be fine down the road, and they could be contending for the conference title. Playoffs, I don't know about that, but I mean, they're going to be there. They're going to be in the mix. They're going to be causing some shit and giving people headaches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. We will indeed see. No, it's going to be fun to watch either way. Colorado, I mean, they struggled against Delaware. I mean, there's some other – I mean, Wisconsin, they actually had an offense show up against MTSU, so good for them. Yeah, and, but West Virginia lost, so you always got to give credit to Wisconsin for actually doing what they needed to do.
Yeah, sure.
Arkansas –
They'll take their wins where they can get them.
Arkansas is scary. I'm going to say that. Arkansas is a scary their offense particularly that is going to be a problem this year. Taylor Green looks really, really good. And if he has weapons that show up around him, big time might be a problem. Just saying.
Oh, I mean, they clearly took their cousins, who they had never played before, by the way. That was the first game in either program's history where Arkansas and Arkansas State met on a football field. That had never happened before. And it was in old War Memorial Stadium for what some are saying might have been the last game to be played in War Memorial Stadium, which is a very bittersweet thing for, I think, the Razorbacks. They took the Red Wolves to Hog City. That's not even a question. What I question is what's going to happen once they start playing real teams, like week 3. Okay, let's just look ahead briefly here for Arkansas. Who do they got this upcoming weekend? Where the fuck did you go?
In the meantime, appreciate both of y'all, Sispunk. Appreciate it, buddy. Thanks you for the 2, brother.
We're going to find out who the fraud is. They're playing Ole Miss on Saturday. Oh yeah, we're gonna find out.
We're gonna cover that in just a minute. Don't you worry. Legit. Don't you worry. We're gonna cover that in just a minute.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be funny. But I don't know. I haven't followed Arkansas too much so far this season. My mind's been occupied elsewhere. I know they've been winning. I know they've been playing really good against teams they're supposed to. This weekend's gonna be the real first time where we can actually look at Arkansas and assess, like, okay, what is this fucking team gonna be?
Yeah, right. Shout out to Vandy, by the way. 2-0. That once again, Diego Pavia's on a roll. They just continue to continue to look good. And I picked Virginia Tech in this game. I think Brent Pryce. I think Brent Pryce is also on the poop list. I think he's headed directly where Billy Napier and any coach that's going to get fired this year. I think Brent Pryce is going to be on that list.
Yeah, I don't see Virginia Tech's 0-2 to start the year now. They admittedly they had a rough start. They had to open the season against South Carolina, so you knew that was going to be a loss. And then the resurgent Vanderbilt Commodores pimp walking their asses all over Lane Stadium. That just kind of says it all right there. Now they got a couple of easy ones coming up, supposedly. Old Dominion, which I think is kind of turning into a little bit of an unwanted rivalry at this rate, considering they've always been kind of having close games with ODU. And then they got to lay up against Wofford. So they got a chance to kind of get their shit together before they have to play NC State in a few weeks. But I agree with you 100%. I think their head coach is on the way out if they don't make a bowl game this year. They have been struggling for quite a while now, and I don't get it with Virginia Tech. I don't understand how they could be struggling for so long now. Like, was Lanning really the only guy keeping everything together there? No, not Lanning. Beamer.
Probably, I don't know from the looks of it. Yeah, that's need to be the case.
Yeah, they should have let his ass coach until he died at this rate. Like, seriously.
Jaden Nixon, the UCF game with 4 carries, 156 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Shout out to him. But it was against AT&T Academy, so you kind of have to take that for what it is. You want to talk about somebody who's dead in the water. Chris Kleeman went out there and got beat by Army. And now normally that doesn't sound all that bad. You get beat by a service academy, so what? But first of all, of course, it's Army. They're a league below the Big 12, and the Army team that beat them lost to Tarleton the week before. Yeah, so Kansas State is in all kinds of hell right now. Avery Johnson is just having a bad time. He's got no personnel around him. The defense is getting beat up front. They're just looking progressively worse each and every week. The coaching is just miserable up front. I don't understand how they messed this up so bad. I don't get it. But now they're 1-2. A loss to Army like that. I mean, that's a bad loss.
Yeah, I kind of see what's going on here. Avery Johnson's just been exposed. Like, everybody hypes up Avery Johnson like he's going to be the next big thing during the offseason. And granted, we have 7 months to talk about college football without there being college football played. Mm-hmm. So don't forget that in the back of your head as you hear these pundits talk about after everything is over this offseason.
Right.
What I genuinely what surprises me the most, honestly, it's not the fact that Avery Johnson is struggling. It's how he's struggling, where he's struggling. The deal with Avery Johnson is this. The dude is very streaky. We saw it last year, and we saw how streaky he can be. He gets into these spells where he's doing really, really good, and he's a world beater, lighting up everybody like it's the 4th of fucking July, and then crash landing. Does this mean that he needs to move to a different school and get in the portal, which I don't know if he can. He's a junior, so he's got another year of eligibility if he wants. He ain't going to get drafted by anybody with this performance right now. Could he go and ply his trade somewhere else? I think that's likely at this point. But you're already starting to talk about next season with Kansas State, and it's they haven't even gotten to they're 0-1 in the Big 12 right now, and that's not impossible to come back from, but it feels pretty impossible considering how they have done to this point in the season, which is they lost to Iowa State in Ireland. Okay, not an easy team to beat, a very forgiving loss. You nearly blow it to North Dakota at home. Okay. Now we're starting to scratch our heads. Now you lose to Army, a team that lost to Tarleton State the week prior, is in full-on rebuild mode after having a legendary season last year.
Mm-hmm.
And now you got, of all the fucking teams coming up on your schedule, Arizona next week. If you struggle against Arizona, oh, God, wait until you play Baylor or TCU, or Kansas. It's going to be a rough ride.
Very rough. So, yeah. And the last thing we'll do before we get to week 3, real quick, got to put this up back on the screen again. Shout out to my man Development, man. He went out there and did what I wanted to see, and he beat Nico and gave him his second loss of the season. Mr. 0-2 over there at UCLA. I hope he's enjoying that.
You
that
just
little
had
game.
to get that one in on Nico. We're not going to go a show without you talking about Nico losing a fucking football game.
Yeah, that's what happens. That's what happens when you leave us high and dry. You know, when you try and con us out of money for your own personal gain, and then you run away during the middle of the season. That's kind of what happens. And, I'm not going to sit here and laugh at his own failures, but I am going to say, all I'm going to say is that I don't necessarily feel bad.
I mean, I don't feel bad for the fucker either. I feel more bad for UCLA for letting his ass show up there. What the hell were they thinking, letting this prima donna walk into their team and show up and play football for them? What it's proving to me is 2 things. One, UCLA is trash. We all fucking knew that coming into the season. UCLA has enough problems as it is, independent of the drama smoke show that is Nico Iamaleava. It's not even fucking not related at all. And this bullshit, it's the best trade in college football history. It's the only trade in college football history, and it's the best trade in college football history for your beloved Tennessee Volunteers, because how the fuck you guys have got lucky as shit with Joey Aguilar. I told you guys were in good hands with Joey Aguilar. I told you this before the season started. He's proven my ass right.
Yeah, this is funny. How much money did he actually get? If we're being honest, he got negative $1,200,000. That is what he got. No, because he was making $2 million at Tennessee per year to play quarterback. he goes to UCLA because nobody else would take him, and they're paying him only $800,000 per year.
What? That's it?
Yeah, that's it. That's all they're paying him, $800,000 a year. So yeah, he lost he lost a net worth of $1,200,000 a year.
Yeah, and he's never going to see that much money again in his life because
a great negative amount. Yeah.
Like Nico is going to be the cautionary tale to all these guys that are wanting to ply their trade in NIL and taking a look at their options. Don't be like Nico. Don't listen to a fucking agent or your father of all people. Not saying that all dads are bad, but like don't listen to people that don't know what the hell you're doing when you're seeking out advice on how to manage your college career. It's not easy to wade yourself into the NIL market and see where the grass is greener on the other side. But rule 0 of any sort of NIL transfer is don't burn the bridge with your old school. Don't fucking do that. This is not the NFL. You're not an employee. It's personal when you pull that shit. I'm sorry. Like it's a different level. He tried to do NFL tactics when he's still in college, and now he's not even going to get a chance, I think, to do that shit in the NFL. We'll see you in Canada, Nico.
Yeah, I would talk about it further, but we're sort of running low on time, so we got to go ahead
I know. You would talk about it for hours and hours and hours if you could. I know.
Yeah, I know. Oh no, absolutely. I have all the reason to. NC State and Wake Forest, they play. This is actually 2 undefeated teams playing on September 11th, Thursday.
Oh, shit. I forgot Wake Forest is undefeated. Well, that's not going to last long.
Both teams are. That's crazy. Stunning, I know, even. Yeah, I know. That's going to be a fun game to watch.
Inconceivable.
Really. We got some pretty good games to start out with. Did we ever write down what games we want to cover for to start? Or do we just?
I did. I was gonna write down a list, but again,
then don't worry about it. Let's just get the best ones out of the way first, or like the most, the ones we want to talk about, and then we'll, if we have time, we'll let the chat. We'll let them talk.
That's a good idea. Let's do that.
All right. Clemson. First, I want to cover this one. Clemson versus Georgia Tech. Both teams are Clemson, yeah. Georgia Tech right now, and the matchup predictor is actually favored. Now Clemson's of course coming in as a 9.5-point favorite, but they got to go into Bobby Dodd against a Georgia Tech team that's fresh off of beating Colorado and then a dominant performance over Gardner-Webb. This is probably Georgia Tech's best chance in a while to actually get the jump on Clemson because, again, they looked absolutely terrible against Troy. I don't know what type of practice they're going to be doing in preparation for this game on the road, but you best guarantee that Tech's going to be ready for whatever they bring to the table. And Clemson, I'll say this, Georgia Tech, kind of a lot like LSU, pretty good defensive line up front. I think they're going to be a problem up front for Clemson. What do you think?
I think Georgia Tech is extremely underrated. I think they should be ranked top 25. I'm not even fucking kidding. Haynes King is an absolute hoss. He's a beast. He's using the weapons around him extremely well. That defense, that defense could definitely be a little bit stronger, I think. But they should be in the 20s, in the top 25 at least with how they have been going thus far. I think that they are honestly, this is going to be solely dependent on how Clemson prepares for the game. Cade Klubnik has not shown me the Heisman hype that everybody has been talking about this offseason yet in either of his first 2 games. He didn't really perform well against LSU. He sure as shit didn't perform well against Troy last week. This is the game where he's got to perform because Georgia Tech is not going to roll over and die. This is kind of a low-key rivalry game, too, between these 2 teams. So, because they go back a long way thanks to a certain Heisman man. So, I would say that I think Georgia Tech's going to get the jump, and I think Tech is going to shock the nation and knock off Clemson this weekend. I got a really good feeling about the Jackets. And I know my buddy Dan is probably going to hear this, and he's going to be smiling, and he's going to probably frown for a second and say, "Oh, fuck, Red, you just jinxed my team." So, but I genuinely believe in the Jackets. I'm going to say they're going to win this weekend.
All right. Well, first off, I want to address JFKH's $2 super chat. Much appreciated, buddy. I'll pay you $20 to get a 30-minute video of you ranting about Nico.
Oh, dude, that's easy money.
I do agree. I'm not wrong, but I'm a $1 per minute type of guy. 30 for 30. 30 for 30. like Miami's most relevant moment in the 21st century.
Man, you're a hoe. You know that you're a fucking hoe.
Right. Maybe I am. Dumb Gamers 22 with the $5 super chat says Wake Forest losing will be the worst thing to ever happen on that day. That's the worst thing to happen for both teams, because then Wake Forest loses A, and then B, NC State probably keeps Dave Doran around for another year.
JFK.
Now, JFKH, appreciate the 20. Let me click on it, dadgummit.
I was excited.
All right. I'll take you up on that, man. Tomorrow, I can't promise it tonight, but tomorrow, if I've got the time after chaos or somewhere. Oh, there you go. Okay, then yeah, I'll do it. 30 minutes.
You're a man of your word. There's your $1 per minute. Right. Get to work, Squid.
$1 per minute. All right, then. I can't do it tonight, but at some point in due time, that's what I'll do. That's exactly what I'll do. I'll spend 30 minutes just going off on Nico and everything he did. I might make a video about it too. I might make a video. That's what I probably end up doing. So appreciate it, JFKH, man. You're the GOAT. You're the GOAT.
It'll be the easiest goddamn video you make in your life.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right then. Well, let's see. All right, I guess we'll cover this one. Now, I think we all know who we're going to pick here. Despite the fact Bama looks way worse off than they did before, they're still 20.5-point favorites. Wisconsin is still terrible. I'm taking Alabama without a doubt in my mind. I don't even care about the rest of whatever happens.
Wisconsin? Are you sure you want to do this weekend? You know you can call in sick and just say we left the team at home, right?
Different leagues.
Now, the last time Alabama was playing a team that was obviously inferior, they lost and they got beat bad. So, in that spirit, I'm going to be the hopeful optimist and say Wisconsin gets the upset. Fuck you. Wisconsin's going to come in to Bryant-Denny Saban Stadium and beat the Alabama Crimson Tide by 4, like what Angie says there. I got a 4-point win for the Wisconsin Badgers. Come hell or high water, Alabama gets its second loss of the season in week 3, starts 1-2, and Tuscaloosa burns to the ground in shame.
Kalen DeBoer. Kalen, if this score is even close at halftime, Kalen DeBoer doesn't make it. He will be canned at the half. Now, don't get me wrong. I hope you're right, Red. I hope you're right. I hope Wisconsin gets the upset, because that would be absolute cinema for the college football world. I just don't think it's happening.
Yeah, like that would we would be licking that salt block for the rest of time. Like that would absolutely be so fucking. Oh god, that would feed families.
Don't worry, we're gonna come back to that one. Let's see.
Oh yeah.
Base 2002, great hot take, Red.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it, man. For whatever reason, they put this one on CBS. Do you think so? This is USC and Purdue. Purdue's undefeated, so is USC. The Trojans are 21.5-point favorites. Now, we both know. I mean, we both think USC is winning that game, but do you think they cover?
Yeah, I think they cover. I think it's going to be a 21-point win easily. They do got to travel across the country to play Purdue, and it Purdue. So like, I think it's going to cover. Why does CBS keep getting these really shit games? Like, okay, 2-0 versus 2-0. Is it the historic matchup of it that these two old school powers, and by old school I mean 1950s powers? And I know USC going to a national title or two in the early 2000s, and Purdue has been irrelevant since the 50s. But, like, this is one of those games that you look back on and you're like, oh, this would have been a Rose Bowl matchup in, like, 1955. This is I feel bad that CBS has to air this garbage. Then again, Fox is kind of stuck with Oregon against Northwestern this weekend, so it's not like they have much of a choice. Yeah, I got USC covering.
All right, yeah. Well, we got to disagree on this one, brother. I'm actually going to be siding with Purdue. I do.
Why?
No.
What the fuck makes you think that Purdue's going to win this game?
They're from what I saw. Look, I'm going to tell you this much: that the Ryan Walters Purdue team probably doesn't beat Ball State. Like, that's how bad they were.
What?
Yeah, they're terrible. You saw them. You saw them. Purdue was terrible.
No. Come on, dude. Let's come on. I beg you, come back to the light with me. Come back to reality, Squid. Come on now.
I didn't say they're going to win. I just said they're going to cover that. That's a big what you're talking about there. 21.5. You got to win by more than 3 touchdowns to cover that. I don't think USC is good enough on defense to do that. We're talking about Lincoln Riley here. I think this is going to end up being kind of a shootout. Purdue could, I think it'll be like a score of like 49-35, something like that. That's what this could wound up being. Because I'm a believer in Ryan Brown. Ryan Brown is the truth that Barry Odom has been looking for. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. We'll see. I have some faith in the Soiler makers for once, so hopefully they won't let me down.
That's where you're wrong. You should never put your faith in the spoiler makers. The spoiler makers appear whenever they damn well please. They don't bend to your whims.
Well, they appear when I say so. And
you're
they appear.
Delusional orange fuck.
Here we go. People are mad about this not being the selection for College Game Day for whatever reason. Of course, South Florida has one of the best resumes right now. That is the truth. 2 top 25 wins with two teams that aren't top 25 anymore between Boise State and Florida. And now they're coming in as the 18th ranked team, and they have a chance to shock the world even further as they travel to the neutral site stadium of Hard Rock Stadium to face off against a top 5 Miami Hurricane squad. How bad does Cristobal have to Cristobal this one up to even have a shot of losing?
Okay, so let me just go ahead and point this out. This is another chapter in the never-ending quest to determine who the state champion of Florida is going to be, because after this game, South Florida is pretty much done. I think playing teams in Florida. Do they play UCF this year? No, they don't. So this is it for Florida. After this, they don't have to worry about Florida again, I think, the rest of the season in general. Miami has them, and then they have Florida State and Florida this season to play still. So this will be Miami's first real test. We already know what South Florida can do. We know what South Florida is capable of doing. They've knocked off Florida. They've knocked off Boise State. This is their 3rd top 25 team in a row this season in week 3. People bitch about this being on the CW network. Well, guess what, motherfucker? TV contracts don't care about your feelings, okay? Miami, from what I have seen so far, to my knowledge, they've shown me literally nothing of note here. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. They showed me something. They played Notre Dame, and they beat them by 3 points. And they looked pretty good in that win. They looked really, really solid playing Notre Dame. So I think we can all agree that Miami is at least a more legit. I know I misspoke. I forgot about the goddamn Notre Dame game. Fucking forgive me. I am drunk. All right? Now, sort of. Look. Yeah, let's not forget Miami almost choked that game. Listen, I have had a long fucking weekend. I had 2 teeth ripped out of my skull, okay? And I've been working on a video literally from dawn to dusk. Shut the fuck
think that's bad. Think that's bad. Imagine one of the best games of the season being put on the CW network.
Shut the fuck
well,
up.
Looky there, huh? One of the best games of the week, and it's on the freaking CW network. We get to watch the ump cam in a total of 7 pixels again. Are you guys ready for that? Yeah, the ump cam in an astounding 360p. It's looking like a friggin' PowerPoint presentation. Whoop-de-doo.
You know what, man? Give CW credit for trying. I feel for those bastards. They're trying to get their feet in the door here and be an alternative to the other networks. I feel for them. Getting back on topic here,
Bazinga.
I'll sum it up like this. Miami's got a pretty rough slate coming up here. South Florida, Florida, and then Miami. Okay? That's pretty rough. It would not surprise me if they somewhat overlook the Bulls, despite them beating Florida. This could be for the state championship of all of Florida, because I think USF's going to win this game. I think we're going to have full-blown chaos, because I think October Miami's going to arrive in September.
You think what?
I think October, November, Miami is going to arrive early. They normally blow it in October or November, and I think they're going to arrive.
So what do you think? Do they think like they're going to actually lose this game or what?
I think they got a chance to lose this game. I mean, South Florida ain't going to be afraid of them. Like,
well, that's obvious. Yeah.
They've beaten 2 power teams already, Boise State and Florida. Like, I genuinely think South Florida has a good chance. And if Miami gets off to a slow start, well, we saw what happened when they played Florida. When people get off to a slow start against the Bulls, they come a running, and they run fast, and they run hard, and the horns are sharp. So I got the Bulls. I'm going to say, fuck it, the Bulls. I'm going full chaos this weekend. Fuck you.
Hey, man, I hope you're right. I've got Miami winning this game, but I don't think they cover that spread. That's a long 18.5-point spread. I think this will be way closer than that.
Yeah,
I think South Florida's going to put up a fight. Yeah,
it's gonna be a one-score game.
Byron Brown's going to keep him in it, man. He's good. He's really, really good. And this is the thing about South Florida is that's their real final test for the rest of their conference. Like they have their conference schedule afterwards. They should win the rest of their games.
They got South Carolina State next week. They could take next week fucking off for all I care. They just got to beat Miami. That's all they're looking at right now.
Okay, real quick. So, there's some other games that I wanted to do, but we are running a little short on time. So I'd rather just go ahead and get to the main event here. Why don't we? Well, first off, how bad do you think you're going to beat Ohio?
I'm going to say by a minimum of 21 because Ohio is a very solid MAC team overall. They're not a pushover in any sort of the way. They're a contender, I think, for the MAC title for sure. So I'm going to say we win by 3 touchdowns at minimum.
All right. Well, there you go.
What about
okay,
then. Let's talk about what about your Tennessee Volunteers, buddy?
Well, here we are once again, ladies and gentlemen. This is the day I dread in the season. This is it. I mean, I'm sure you know it all too well. This is a day I absolutely dread. Having to go blow for blow against my arch freaking nemesis. Look, and we can talk all day about how much you guys hate Florida or Alabama or anybody like that, and I hate them, but I loathe this absolute Mickey Mouse ass school right here. I loathe them with every fiber bone in my body. The freaking Georgia Bulldogs, man. Their fans are obnoxious. They're the worst fans in sports, even worse than the Dallas Cowboys. They're the absolute most parasitical fan base in the entire universe. And every year, right after I lose to these people again, they come running back to my comment section to let me know about it. There's no fan base that rags on me more than Georgia. No fan base. Not one. Not even close. It's not even a competition. And that's exactly why I hate these people so much. The freaking Disney World, Mickey Mouse ass Georgia Bulldogs. I want to beat them so bad. You have no idea how bad I want to finally get one over these assholes. I mean, I cannot stand the Georgia Bulldogs. And the spread is going down super fast. Game day's coming to Knoxville. Originally, the spread was 8.5. Overnight, it went down by 5. It's now 3.5 in favor of Georgia. I mean, this spread has gone down drastically just over the course of one day. So I don't know what Vegas is seeing. I don't know what it is. But I mean, there's going to be some problems for Tennessee in this game. I legitimately do think that some people say that they were hiding their offense in the Austin Peay game. And I think that's BS, obviously. And that's FBS, I would go as far to say. I don't think they were hiding their offense. Yeah, exactly. I don't think they were hiding their offense. But however, I do think that their offense is going to come out with the spark up their butts going into this game against Tennessee. It's a road matchup. Georgia's they're trying to prove something. Their fans are all over the internet talking about, they're doubting us again. We're going 7-5, and the whole ordeal.
They sound exactly like that.
Yeah. So here we are now. This is probably Tennessee's best shot to beat Georgia, as long as I can remember. You've got them at home. They're coming off a lackluster win. This is probably the worst Georgia's offense has looked under Kirby since the Fromm days, and maybe even beyond that. And I think a lot of people are doubting the Dogs, but they were doubting them in the Ole Miss game as well. The spread is going down. Tennessee's got the home field advantage. They got the potential. They have an offense again. Oh man. Here's the thing that's so concerning for me is that they are out now 2 of their starting corners. The Jermod McCoy and Ricky Gibson are both going to be out for this game. So it's literally all going to come down to Gunnar Stockton's ability to throw downfield and actually sling the football. Do you trust them to do that? That's the big question. I do, but I don't think it's enough. I've been doubting my team, but I can't do it. I can't. I had to swallow my pride last year because you were going on the road into Athens. You won't hear me do it this time. Fellas, I'm picking Tennessee to shock the world this year. We're going to beat Mickey Mouse for the first time in 8 years. Please do not let me down this time.
If you or a loved one have been affected by Tennessee volunteerism, call now at 555. Go fuck yourself. 555. Go fuck yourself. That's 1-800-555. Go fuck yourself. Help now for all those volunteer fans in need as they get their asses absolutely smoked by the Dogs of Georgia. Sorry, Squid. I got Georgia on this one.
Okay, I've got Ohio.
I feel.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm not just saying that to troll you, buddy. I think, I give Joey Aguilar a ton of praise and a ton of credit because I love that quarterback, man. He's awesome. I think he's a great quarterback for you guys. But you just, for whatever goddamn reason, you guys just always seem to find a way to lose to Georgia. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's some voodoo volunteer curse. I don't know if it's Georgia magic. I don't know if I don't know what it is. But for whatever goddamn reason, I just don't think you guys are going to pull it off on Saturday. Some bullshit's going to happen. You're going to cry into the camera on Monday, and I'm going to have to console you through fucking therapy on Monday. I don't know what to tell you at this point. I'm sorry, buddy. I love you, but I'm sorry.
I just wish that y'all played Michigan the same week we play these dudes.
You know what?
That's what I wish.
You know what? When Michigan does play Ohio State at the end of the season, man, you can go after me the same way I'm going after you right now. If not worse, because at least unlike the Tennessee Volunteers, we'll be competing for a national championship.
Okay. That's yeah, I'm not necessarily going to even try to fall for that bait. I can recognize rage bait when I hear it, and I'm not gonna fall for that one.
Yeah, that was a low blow. I agree.
It's just goofy. Goofy. I mean, again, it is a stretch. I will say that. First of all, I got to read the super chat. Can't wait to go to the game this weekend and see Neyland. May the best team win. Go Dogs. Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see, man. We'll see. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. And I will admit that I'm up in the air about it. I think there's going to be an extremely close ball game. I don't think there's going to be any scenario where we get blown out or they get blown out or anything like that. This will be a close, hard-fought battle. And Fowler and Herbstreit are, of course, coming in to commentate. And we all know my luck with that. So yeah, I mean, we're bound to see what happens. Yeah,
it's gonna be close. I think that at the end of the day, it's going to be. I think it's going to be a 3-point win for Georgia, but I think Tennessee's going to make it a really good fight. It's going to be a really, really tough. It's going to be a good loss for Tennessee if they lose. It's going to be a good one. For whatever the fuck that's worth to you.
No, I appreciate it, man. I do. We'll see.
I'm not delusional in saying it's a blowout. There's one more game we have to cover since College Game Day. I think they're going to emanate there, if I'm right.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's, of course, fucking God's golden hemorrhoids. Notre Dame against Texas A&M.
Yeah, well, why don't we go ahead and cover that real fast because that is important.
Yeah, that's a huge game. Let me just get a couple of things out of the way here. Notre Dame, they've looked pretty solid off the start. They do have a loss already on their books thanks to Miami. This is a must-win game for them, honestly. This is a very much a must-win game for Notre Dame. A&M, they don't have as many stakes in on this one besides just pride. They are walking into Notre Dame Stadium and playing before the mighty eyes of touchdown Jesus. So it's going to be a really tough environment for them to play in. I genuinely don't know which way this is going to go, but based on what I saw against Miami, and based on what I've seen in the highlights with Texas A&M, I'm actually going to go with the Aggies on this one because they seem like they got it a little bit more together right now than Notre Dame does. Notre Dame's, they've not been running the ball very well. They've not been throwing the ball very well thus far. This is kind of like one of those, like, you're going to see what each team is really made of here. And from what I could tell from the outset, everyone seems to be liking the Irish, but I don't know, dude. Something about these Aggies, something about Notre Dame not being able to run that ball, play that well against Miami. It just kind of tells me that could be a rough fight for them.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if they lose another game, I think they're done, honestly.
First off, Super Nuclear, appreciate the 2, says fire Mark Stoops, bench Calzada, start Cutter Boley. Yeah, Kentucky fans down all kinds of horrendous right now. Can't really blame them. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm also pretty high on A&M this year. I kind of make the joke every single season that Miami and A&M are always overranked, like 2 teams that you can count on to be overranked and overrated in the preseason. But right now, both of them are living up to expectations, and Texas A&M has a chance to further fortify that by beating Notre Dame on the road. This is going to be a tough competition, I think, because Notre Dame is a good team, and they've got a pretty good defense to go around with that. And right now, my only concern for A&M would be trying to stop the run, trying to stop Jeremiah Love. And A&M is really, I mean, they're built up front pretty well. So this is a tough one for me to say, Red, but I'm going to agree with you. I know Goob is sitting here like I'll never believe there's no way, but I believe. I think Texas 8-4 does get the jump in on the Fighting Irish, and I think A&M advances to 3-0. We shall see.
I guess we're going to find out on Saturday.
We will.
Anything else you want to cover real quick?
Well, first off, first of all,
get on the stream here.
One last thing. Go Lobos. I'll be go Lobos, baby. Yeah. I mean, there's some other there are a couple of other games that we like. Maybe there's some entertaining matchups. Arkansas, Ole Miss. That's going to be a fun one. Virginia Tech always struggles against Old Dominion for whatever reason. They better beat them this time. Florida, LSU. This would be worth covering had Florida not gotten beaten by South Florida. But now I think LSU is just going to run away with it. And I think everybody else can agree with me on that. They're coming in at 9.5-point favorites. I think they'll easily cover. I just can't believe in Florida anymore. That's just how it has to be.
If you believe in Florida, you're a damn fool or you're hopelessly lost.
Keep an eye on this one at 10:30. I might have to stay up really late because Texas State against Arizona State. That's going to be a ball game, I think. That could actually be a really good game. Yeah. And then Boston College, I swear. I know you guys just lost to Michigan State. Don't you dare go out there and give Stanford a win. Don't you dare let that happen.
They're just counting down the days until Andrew Luck.
There's no way I could even think about letting that happen. Yeah, no. All right, man. Well, I guess that's going to wrap it up here for tonight's show. I gotta go get beaten Uno again. So
yeah, real quick, I'm just gonna give my buddy Illogical Canadian a quick shout out here in the chat. He's another YouTube friend of mine. I want you guys, when you're leaving this stream, I want you to go rate his fucking show. He's currently doing a live stream for Monday Night Football on his YouTube channel. So please go and raid his stream and tell him that Red and Squid sent you and have a little fun with the fucker. He could use a little bit. It's apparently the Bears and the Vikings are having themselves a kind of a shitty game at the moment. So go raid Illogical Canadian for me if you don't mind. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, tell it like it is, man. Go support everybody you can. That's the way it is. We're all a pretty tight-knit community over here. I appreciate all of you guys for sticking around to watch the stuff that we do over here. You're all great people. I mean, I've said that multiple times, and I genuinely mean it. You're all great people. It's always fun talking to y'all, being able to talk to Red on here every single Monday about college football. We've got a lot to go. We're going to have a lot to cover next week, I'm sure, and hopefully I won't come in half drunk as long as my Vols actually fulfill my hopes and dreams and actually take down Mickey Mouse. I'm telling you, man,
Yeah,
I cannot. That's the one 100 out of 100 times. If you ask me who I want to beat the most, and it's those freaking dogs. I want to beat them so bad so that they can finally shut up. So, yeah, cross your fingers and pray and hope for the best. That's all I can really say about that. I appreciate all of you guys for being in here tonight. You're all wonderful people. Love each and every one of you. And yeah, that's all we got for tonight, Red, if you want to finish it out for us.
Thank you to my guys on Patreon. Thank you to
too.
Squid's guys on Patreon. Thank you
quick,
to all of you for watching. Yeah. Those are my captains: Blake Freeman, Champ Gold, Brooklyn Poke, Little Theorist, Main Character Syndrome, Jonathan Peck, my sergeants, Jonathan Peck, TJ Stanley, Anthony Brown, Edgar Carter, Cameron Smith, Roger Hughes, No Eat 'em on Sandwiches, Liam, and Preston Emmons. And list today at patreon.com/red5478.
Yeah, and then I actually made sure before the stream to update my members of Tard area. These are all the people who are supporting my channel as channel members. I'm not going to read off the entire list because there's just so many to go through, and we're out of time as it is. But I appreciate all of you for supporting the channel. You're all great people, and if you're on that list, know that you are greatly loved and supported here on Squidtard Sports and pretty much everywhere else in the college football world. All right, guys. Well, thank you all again for watching. Love each and every one of y'all. We'll see y'all next Monday at the same time as usual, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as always, of course, power to Tards area. And check y'all in next week.
I still don't have a catchphrase. Still working that out.
Yeah, we'll figure that out later.